I don't know about you, but society and the world feels pretty heavy these days. It feels overwhelming, it feels uncertain, and also quite dark at times. Now, I also think that is a beautiful opportunity for us to go look and seek for the things that bring us hope, that bring us light, that bring us a more optimistic look upon the future. Hello, a traveler of worlds, and welcome to Yoga for the Creative Mind. If you're new here, my name is Frederike, and this is IMOVARA, the creative universe for your inner child, where we feel, we create, and we grow together. It is March, which means we are going to travel to a new emotional world. February was all about self-awareness and self-reflection. March is all about hope and awakening. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today. We're going to dream a little, we're going to hope a little, we're going to play with some color and just try to search for some optimistic energies within ourselves. I am using watercolors today, but you can use any medium that you like for this one. So yeah, let's grab our supplies and let's get started. We are about to begin. Now, you have several options here regarding the little painting that we're doing, the outline, the template. The first one is, check out the description. I have a downloadable template there, the exact version that I have right here. You can download it for free without signing up to anything. So you can just click on it, then you can download it. You can use it as a coloring page, you can use it as a tracing guide, or just as a reference, whatever you please. Second option here is to pause the video, and then right now I will put up the outline itself on the screen and you can try to draw that if you like. Or last option is to completely make your own version. Just have a little look at the outline, at the sketch, and then just modify to whatever version you'd like to be making. Remember that these little practices, it's more about like the theme of it and the process of it, like the steps that we take. It is not as much about what is actually coming to life on the page. With that, I mean, you don't have to make exactly what I'm making in order to hopefully get the benefits from this little practice that we are about to do. I just want to encourage you to make this completely your own, exactly how you like, whatever makes you feel comfortable and happy and hopeful. Take what works for you, take what makes you excited, and leave the rest. Now, that being said, if you want to do and follow along exactly the way that I do it, that is completely fine as well, of course. I'm keeping my colors simple because I just want this to be an easy painting, not one where I overthink my colors or my mixing or anything. And of course, if you want to use a completely different medium, you are very welcome to do that as well. Okay, I think we got the logistics out of the way. Let's get started. I will get comfortable here, take a little sip of coffee. And before we actually begin making some art, grab your mug as well, if you like. And just sit here for a moment. Maybe you can close your eyes. Maybe you can start noticing your breathing a little bit more. Just see, are you breathing very shallowly? Maybe you can encourage yourself to take some deeper breaths and see if you can tell your body and your mind that you are just going to be painting right now with Frederike. We are just going to have like 20 or 30 minutes that we spend together in color and in silence, or kind of silence, because I will be talking. I hope I won't be chatting your ears off, but like we will be spending time in presence. And the best part, we are going to focus on all the good things in life. All the things that brighten our minds, that make us hopeful, that make us optimistic. That's our little topic for today. So if you feel some darkness pressing on, just tell yourself that, hey, yes, I carry the burdens of the world often, or the burdens of life often, but right now, for these 20 to 30 minutes, I'm just here in color and in light, and I'm allowed to be here in color and in light. So just breathe a little bit. Feel free to mix your colors if this is the right time to do so. Also, if you feel like cleaning up your space a little bit, that's also always nice to have things a little bit decluttered before we start making a colorful mess. At least I like that, so I can highly recommend it. Take a sip of your beverage of choice and consider this you time, or I should say me time. This is, well, not me time, but it's us time. Consider this us time, IMOVARA time. That's what it is. It's IMOVARA time, which means love, color, and presence. That's all there is to it right now. Okay, take one more deep breath. Blow out the stress and the darkness and the shitty stuff that's out there. We don't need that in our lives right now. We're going to focus on the good things. So, putting my mug away here, we have some stars going on. Some of them are just very small to be writing in, but I have a couple of bigger ones that I plan on writing in, because the gist of today's little practice is that we're going to acknowledge that life might be a little bit dark, a little bit messy, and yeah, we're facing some heavy stuff right now, but in that darkness, oh Lord, can we find the stars and the light, right? We can find the stars that can just completely overshadow all the all the loomy-goomy darkness around us. We can use these stars and we will fill them with our light and with our hope and with our optimism. Okay, so I invite you to have a lighter color, a yellowish color, and also a darker color. So my dark color of choice today is my blue and my purple, and then my light yellow and my pinkish color are like my light. These are going to represent my optimism and my hopes. So what I'm going to do is literally just start wetting my entire page. And as I do that, I'm going to start to dream a little bit. I want to dream about the good things I want to happen this year, for example. Let's keep it to this year. Like, thinking about our whole future can be also very overwhelming. So let's stick to this year. March is a beautiful starting point to approach the new year, I think, because spring is coming, and with spring comes the light and the colors and growth and awakening. So we're going to think of this year. What are your dreams for this year? It doesn't have to be dreams for yourself. It can be dreams for somebody else. It can be dreams for the world. It can be dreams for society, a specific person. But I invite you to find something or someone whom you'd like to give your attention to. And dream a little bit. And as you dream a little bit of how you'd like things to be, how you'd like things to change. For example, if we think about the world, what kind of progress would you actually like the world to have this year? What kind of progress would you like to see in society this year? It doesn't have to be anything big. It can be something as simple as, oh, this is something for me, I think. It's, oh, I'd like to see a bit more love. I'd love to see more understanding. I'd love to see more compassion towards our fellow humans, regardless of our standpoint in life, like what kind of perspective we're coming from, what kind of opinions we have. I just hope that we can find a little bit more compassion and understanding for each other. That's my hope for society and the world this year. And I know it can be hard to think of these things, and I just want to encourage you to really dream without your boundaries here. Dream without boundaries. Like, this is, how should I explain it? If there are thoughts and things popping up telling you like, oh, but this is never going to happen and this can't possibly be a thing in this day and age, or like intrusive thoughts that are negative or sad or upsetting, you can allow them to be there, but also don't give them more attention than needed, and just focus on the hope and the dream that you have for this year. I have my lightest color now, and the only thing I'm going to do is paint in my little stars here. I'm not even going to do it I'm not going to stick inside the outline of it, but this is because watercolor has such a beautiful way of mixing into other things, and I can fix my details later. So I'm just very gently going to dab in a bit of yellow around my stars. And I just invite you to dream whilst you're painting your stars. Dream unconditionally. Can I say that? Like, just let the dreams and the hopes flow. Don't put any boundaries on yourself. How often don't we put boundaries on ourselves, or what we can hope and what we can dream for the future or for a specific year, just because we think it's unrealistic, it's not possible, or there's too much in the way? And yeah, that might be true, but why should that stop us from just finding joy in the dreaming process itself, visualizing a little bit, just finding joy in the what if. What if it could be that way? What if we could live in a society where there's way more compassion for each other, where we approach each other with curiosity and love instead of judgment and, judging a book by its cover kind of thing? What if we could just be more curious and more loving? For example, another hope or dream that I have personally for this year is finding a new home. Finding a homestead where I can raise chickens and kids and a donkey. And right now it feels very unrealistic that this can happen in a year, but who cares? Like the thought, it excites me. That's what I want my life to be. I want to have my farm, or like a homestead, lots of animals, lots of kids, and just painting every day. And that's a very privileged thought, but also not. Like, why am I not allowed to live that life? You only have one life after all, right? You should be allowed to live it on your own terms. So that's my dream for this year. Maybe I invite you to write a dream of yours in the comments, if you feel inclined to do so. Write a dream of yours in the comments. And maybe we can share our dreams together, and we can put some collective energy into the dreams that we have, into the hopes that we have. I also have this fun feeling of, like, when we say it out loud and we share it with people who genuinely care and who are genuinely loving, then there's like a bigger chance of it coming to life. I don't know, just it feels more realistic when you have the right people on your side, right? Also, I have now gone from my star color to my lighter color, or my other light color, which is my pink color. Just gonna add that in between. I'm basically just painting a night sky here with big, beautiful stars that I will fill with my hopes and my dreams for this year. I'm allowing myself to dream and just get lost. Get lost in the dream, get lost in the hope. Get lost in the idea of a better future where there's less conflict, less war, less people just, how do you call it, bumping heads. And yeah, a world where we can meet each other in our humanity. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Life is hard enough. We need each other. We need each other. So, also my page is drying, so that's kind of inconvenient. Let's see if I can add some more water to this. So yeah, this is basically just a very simple, fun little painting with the invitation for you to dream. There's nothing more to it. Art can be this simple. Art can also be this inviting. I also feel like it makes art more meaningful when we have when it encourages us to reflect and to think of our lives. But yeah, if you have a specific dream you'd like to share for the world, for yourself, for someone whom you care about, maybe you would appreciate a prayer from somebody, feel free to write it in the comments. I would love to hear it. I would love to give you my good energies. There we go. Got a couple stars. No, I haven't really. I wanted this to be a night sky, so I'm going to dry this layer in a moment. Wait, first, I'm going to add a bit of purple, I think, because I had some mountains going on in the bottom here, or at the bottom here. So I'm just going to faintly add that in there. I also had some trees. Something like that. Oh, maybe also a bit of green. Just a tad bit of green, because I have a couple of trees that I like to be in there. So I'm making this bluish green for myself. Like so. Just to indicate that we've got some trees going on, but again, this painting is for you to adjust and use and create in any way that you like. So if you don't want trees or little mountains, or maybe you want your stars to be green and your night sky to be orange, you know, it's completely up to you. You adjust this in any way that you like. Okay, I am just going to dry this up with my hair dryer and then I'll come back. My page is dry, so I am just going to add one more layer of water on the entire thing. Because I wanted it to be a night sky. To acknowledge that, not to ignore that there are hard things going on, darker things going on, but to remind myself that I'm allowed to see the good amongst it, and that it's really important for me to remember the good things and the hopeful things, and to allow myself to dream despite of it. I don't want the darkness to dictate my future. I have done that, or I let it do that for many, many years. And it resulted in me not wanting to live at all. And I don't want that anymore. So I don't want to be ignorant, but I also want to claim the life that I've been given, the beautiful existence that God has gifted me. I want to honor that with beautiful things, and with good dreams, and with a hopeful mind. So, I am now just going to mix my blue a little bit more, I think. See if my page is wet enough. I think so. Maybe add in a little bit of purple. start dabbing that in around my little stars. I have a feeling I'm gonna lose my mountains and my trees, but maybe I can save them later. So I guess now is a nice time whilst you add in your darker colors to acknowledge the hardships that you and others and that the world is facing. Allow it to be there because it's a fact. It exists, no matter how upsetting that is. But we don't need to get lost in that. We don't need to get lost in the pain. We don't need to get lost in the worry. We don't need to get lost in the fear. Now I'm simply just outlining my stars again, but with my purplish, pinkish color. Trying to keep my stars as light as possible. And everything else is allowed to be a little bit dark. I do notice that since my living room is very warm and very dry, my paper dries too quickly, so I'm not getting these beautiful typical watercolor blends that I prefer, but oh well. I like the colors, that's what matters. Maybe I'll throw in some colored pencils later. That could be fun. And yeah, just during this time of painting, of coloring your stars, coloring your night sky, just allow yourself to dream. Allow yourself to think about things that make you hopeful. Allow yourself to visualize a future that is good, with amazing people, with a stable world that is in positive progress. I truly believe there is a lot of power in finding the good when so much is trying to eat us up in the dark. That might sound very dramatic, but but I hope you get my point. We think that, how things are evolving is outside of our control. But I think it's the opposite. I think that change and progress all comes from us first, that we as civilians, we as just the little human beings just trying to live our lives, it is our responsibility, and it also lies within our power to change the world for the better if we come together and find more humanity. Oh, that is also, that beepy noise was my oven saying that it's time to put my bread in the oven, so I need to do that in a moment. And as you see here, I'm just mixing colors left and right. Or well, I'm mixing my chosen colors left and right. Just darkening everything up a little bit. Adding in a bit of blue, a bit of purple. Just finding joy in my colors and in my stars. Allowing myself to hope and to dream. go. And again, that's why I think it's so, or I like to encourage you to make this as much your own as possible, because I like for these pieces to be of personal reminders for you, or like, I hope it can be, when you see the paintings that you make here in IMOVARA, when you see them, they bring a specific emotion or a specific thought or a specific reflection within different emotional worlds. So for example, if you just visit this painting again in some time, you remember, oh, this painting was, I made this to feel hopeful. I made this to remind myself of the good things. And so every time you see this painting, maybe you're filled with those energies that you had when you made it. That's what I hope, at least. There we go. I think I will be drying this up again, and then I'll go over it with a little bit of colored pencils. I feel like this little painting of mine needs some colored pencils. So that is the last bit I'll do. Colored pencils and write in my stars. I have here, let's see, a beautiful set of colored pencils. Can you move this around a little bit? Like that. And I'm just gonna have fun with this and see, because my mountains disappeared, so did my trees. So let's do something about that. I'm just gonna add in a little bit of color. Of course, you don't have to do this at all. Just if you feel inclined to use some colored pencils, you do that. Or you just keep on working with your watercolors. Or maybe you're satisfied with the hope in dreaming painting that you already have. I just like the texture it brings. I feel like since I had a bit of problems with my blending today because my living room is too dry, so everything dried too fast, it didn't float as beautiful as it usually does. But since we already have quite a textured painting, I might as well just keep going with the textures. Something like that. And yeah, I guess this was a very simple little practice for today. But I still hope that it at least could invite you to invite in some more hopeful and positive feelings for yourself. And maybe remind yourself that it's so important to still dream and reach for the positive and search out and look for the good things when things feel hard. I don't really know what kind of mountains these are, but they're colorful. That's what matters. They don't really look like mountains, but oh well. Now, if you feel that you're already basically finished with yours, and of course you can always make this practice as long as you like. So if you feel like I was too fast, by all means just keep going afterwards. But if you feel ready with your painting, I now invite you to write some of your dreams and write some of your hopes and your prayers into your stars. I will do this in a moment once I've got my colors in place. But yeah, think of the hopes and the dreams that you came up with today, for society, for yourself, for somebody else, and write them down into your stars. It's like, I like to visualize it as, well, in the last Yoga for the Creative Mind session that we have, or one of the last when we painted lanterns. So you can kind of picture like you're sending your stars off like lanterns, like it's this bulbs of light that you just send off into the night sky, and they kind of just attach themselves to the infinite vastness of the universe. And maybe Maybe God hears them, maybe the universe hears them, maybe other people and humanity hears them. I don't know. It's like, I like that kind of a dream, that it matters, that us dreaming and hoping and thinking of good things, I really think that it matters and that it does something to the tiniest of things even, that we allow ourselves to see these things and feel these things despite of all the fear and the worry that we might carry around otherwise. So, yeah, send off your stars to the sky with your dreams and your hopes. I have a feeling somebody will hear them. Or if not hear them, feel them. And I think I'll have my little painting here somewhere, just as a reminder. Like, put it somewhere where you can see it regularly. And then maybe when you see it, it's like this reminder of, hey, what can I be hopeful for now? What is a little dream I can nourish right now? What is a little prayer I can send to somebody who needs it? And again, if you feel inclined to do so, write a little dream in the comments. I'd love to hear one of your dreams. I'd love to partake in it. I'd love to put my own energy into it. I'd love to dream with you. Or maybe if somebody needs a prayer, I'd love to be able to give that as well. Something like that. Kind of looks like they're glowing, doesn't it? I like that. Mission accomplished. Glowing stars of hope. That's also a nice title. Maybe I should title it that. The Stars of Hope practice. That's what this is. Okay, dokie. Oh yeah, I've forgotten. I wanted to write down some of my dreams. Okay, I'm going to write down my dreams and then we'll end this little practice together. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you could find a bit of light, a bit of hope, maybe sprinkle in a couple of dreams into your stars to send it out to the universe and to God or to whomever may need it. I'm very excited for March because all the videos and the live streams that I post this month are all about hopeful topics. It's about awakening from the wintry slumber that I myself definitely have been in, but also just focusing on the more optimistic sides to life and allowing ourselves to live in that, despite the world and life and society just seeming like a bit of a heavy, uncertain place these days. So if that sounds like something you'd like to stay updated on, I also have something called Letters from IMOVARA. These are letters I send through email once or twice a month with the templates that we're doing, with free coloring pages, also with stories and reflections and just hopeful thoughts in general. So if that sounds like something you'd like to receive, you can check out the description below. One last thing, which I was really excited about discovering, was that apparently you can open up your community tab to the public. So, you know, every creator or like every YouTube person has a community tab where they can share posts and updates and videos and not videos, but like pictures and these kind of things. But apparently you can also open it up so that the subscribers in your community can contribute to that. So I have opened that up to give it a test run. That means that if you make a piece of art from the IMOVARA universe, or you have a thought or a reflection or a story to tell regarding the themes and the topics and the emotional worlds that we travel through, you can now post it there, which I find very exciting. Oh, sorry. This is probably not like like that. But yeah, I find this really exciting because, you know, I make a lot of stuff and I put it out there, but I don't really get to see what you guys are making and what your creative process looks like, or the art that you make. You know, I just love to get to know you better. I'd love to see the pieces that you make within the universe of IMOVARA. So if you feel comfortable, feel free to give the community tab a try and post something there. I'd love to see. I'd be very grateful. Yeah, I think that is it. You will see me again next Monday. Thank you for joining me today. Mwah! I appreciate you all so much, and I will see you again very, very soon.